So we're in Newlands, Cape Town, and we're going to do a little bit of a vehicle overview, walkthrough of sorts. This is our 2006 Hilux. It's a double cab. It's got all the amenities you could ever want on it, starting with the tent. So up there at the tent, it's a clamshell style. So you just pop those up, and it's on gas struts that just push it right up. When you want to pull it down, you just pull a little string. It pulls it all down for you. It's a really easy setup, a really easy takedown. So if we need to get out of somewhere quick or set up quick, if we get somewhere late, then we're all set. Now into the cab. As I said, this is a double cab, so there's both the back seat and the front seat, but we took the back seat out, as you'll see in a little bit. There's a lot going on in here, but some big takeaways are, man, I don't even know where to start. Well, first off, and this is a mirror of sorts. It's got a camera that sets out the back, and it basically acts like a rear view mirror that we can see out the back, like any other car. Pretty nifty. And it also has a front facing camera, and it's recording full time, so it acts as a dash cam recorder as well. Hopefully we won't need to use any of that footage, but we have it if we need it. And then into the center console here, you'll see a bunch of USB ports for charging phones, cameras, whatnot. And then a couple buttons for lights, and then an air compressor, which is under the hood, which I'll go over in a bit. This is a throttle body adjuster if you wanted to change the throttle response of the throttle pedal. I don't think we're going anything very technical, so I don't think I'll use that very often. Also down in the center console is a tire pressure gauge. Currently, I need to get some batteries for the tire pressure sensors on each of the tires, but there's you can get PSI or bar, and that can run full time and get a constant stream of status from the tires, so we know if one's leaking or if one's going out or something like that. Above me is a two-way radio, which currently isn't connected, but we'll see if we need to use it if we ever link up to anyone on the trail. Also above and behind me is our netting. We don't know if we're going to use this at all, but we wanted to test it out to shove jackets and whatnot up there if we need them for quick access, and get them up above instead of just sitting in the back seat. It's got some pretty heavy duty seat covers on it, with pouches all along the fronts and backs of them, that you can unzip and put things if you want to. Like old watch bands. Finding new things every day. Glove box. There's a glove box. You always need a bag of Mrs. H.S. Ball's chutney flavored chips. It's a requirement. Crisps. Coming to the back seat is, like I said, no back seat. Instead, the guy who had this previous to us installed this platform, which is great for storage, obviously when you're in safer countries. He also has a nice subwoofer and amp. Not that we're going to be bumping any jams too loud, but we have it if we need it. Of course, we got a first aid kit here. Hopefully we'll never need to use it, but there if we need it. Moving to the back of the truck, we've got an alu cab on it, which has 3 access panels, one on each side and then one on the back. And then that gives you access to everything inside here. All this material is aluminum with kind of a rougher texture fabric on it, which is soft enough that you could touch and move things around, which is perfect for this kind of vehicle, this kind of setup. There's 2 compartments in the back here. They go pretty deep, so this is more of your odds and ends, your bits, your axes. There's some wiring, there's some triangles back here. I'm sure we'll find uses for these compartments when we get some more gear and whatnot. This is also right next to the water tank, which has an 80 liters of capacity tank in here, which you fill through this hole right here, and then there's a pump that pumps out through a tube in the back, and that's all powered through the 12 volt system. Moving on towards the back, we have another access point with a bunch of drawers. These are really heavy duty and very long drawers that will fit. I mean, this is most of our gear that we've brought, and then we'll fill it with other things that we pick up along the way. And all these drawers and everything are all lockable, which is super nice. In this drawer we've got most of the toolkit and some other odd stuff. This right here is a really important piece of gear, well, a portion of it. This is a tube for our ARB air compressor, in case we ever need to pump up a tire, which I'm assuming we will at some point. Have to repair and patch a tire and then pump it back up. Or if we go through a sandy bit, we need to air down the tires and then air them back up again. We can do that through this. And that should get to each tire wherever we need to. In this long drawer, we've got our cooking solution. Right now we only have one 3 kilogram CADAC tank. We're gonna get a second one, and that should last us between 4 and 6 weeks between the two of them. So we'll have 2 3 kilogram cylinders with propane in them, and then we've got a double burner stove that will cook everything on. Throughout the whole car, there's lights everywhere, all powered on the 12 volt system. These are drive rear lights, so they won't be powered through any buttons or anything like that, but they're mostly for driving and stuff like that. Solar panel for the 12 volt system, I'll explain that later. This is the tire carrier. It's got a shovel mount and a high lift jack mount once we get that set up. But this just swings out and locks in to the rear bumper when we need it to drive. Moving around this section is our kitchen area. We've got our fridge here, which isn't massively large, but it'll fit what we need it to. It's got 3 crates that you can kind of stack and move around for what you need it to. It's got a light.
No freezer.
No freezer, but it'll do. And then you've got a bunch of storage for bits and bobs and I don't know, kitchen supplies, bottle openers, whatever.
Bits and bobs.
Bits and bobs. All your plates, bowls, washing stuff, cups, cutlery, and a paper towel holder. And then a really, really deep pocket for what we're going to use for mostly food items. And then right here, you've got a little table set up that you can slide right on the back here. You've got a little working surface. It's not super heavy duty, so you probably couldn't put a lot of weight on this, but maybe a cooker. Maybe not a full pot with the cooker, but really nice area. Alright, at the engine bay, we've got a lot going on, but our biggest piece, other than just the engine, is this right here. which is the battery that powers most of the lights, the fridge, the stuff back there. This is powered a few different ways. It can be charged through solar, like I showed back there with that solar panel. It can be charged with the alternator when the engine's running, or it can be charged with shore power, which you just plug right into basically any wall socket. A lot of the campsites that we're going to will have a plug-in, so that's pretty nice. And that leads all the way back here to a couple different sections. Right here we've got that shore power charger. So it comes from the wall, charges the battery here. You can also use direct shore power, so that comes in before it comes to here. You can plug in whatever you need to be charged through that and not just use the battery. Up here you've got your inverter, which basically just converts everything to normal home voltage that you can use for hair dryers, heaters, etc. We won't be using that very often, I don't think at all actually. So that'll just stay right there and we won't touch it. Here's a solar charger. There's two plugs in the back here that you can plug the solar panel into. And all of these are Victron Energy modules, so they're Bluetooth enabled, which you can connect to your phone and monitor all the status that's going on there. You can see right here, we're at 100% state of charge. We got 10 days left. That's a lie because the fridge isn't on, so once we turn the fridge on, I bet it will get about 2 to 3 days worth of full power there. But pretty nifty if you ask me. Above the kitchen is our awning. We don't have enough room right now to pull it all out, but it's a 270-degree awning that goes all the way around the other side. Sits about a foot above your head with some poles that can jack it up a little bit. And that has lighting as well on it that you plug into on the back there. So on the other side of the engine bay, we've got a couple other things. As I mentioned about the air, this is the air compressor right here. It goes to a secondary tank, but this is the valve that you can plug that into and pump up your tires. And that runs on the batteries. This is the main battery. This powers all the lights, the external lights and whatnot, as well as the winch. The winch is just right on the front of the bumper there. Hopefully we don't ever have to use it. That's what I keep saying of everything. We're going to use one of these things at some point, so we'll see. The guy that owned this previous did install a large air horn right there. So if the air compressor is on, you can make a really, really, really loud air horn sound. We also have a snorkel on top over there. Ideally, we won't be going through water that deep, but that's all the air intake for the engine. And there you have it, folks.